Hello and welcome back to the Round 2 FPO coverage of the Music City Open, sponsored by Dynamic Discs. This is a 3-round event outside of Nashville, Tennessee, and this is Sarah Sinclair, joined by course designer Sean Sinclair.
And on the card today, we have Katrina Allen sitting at 8 under, Missy Gannon is at 5 under, Hannah McBeth is at 3 under, and Haley King is at even. Starting right off the bat on hole 10, a lot of people in Nashville think it's the signature hole here. Plays a little difficult for the women. It actually played closer to a par 4 for these women. It's 610 feet. The video doesn't do it a lot of justice, but this is extremely downhill. When you're standing on that tee, it almost looks like a ski slope. You've got a cart path down the entire right side that's OB. As you'll see, as the flight comes in here, the pin is tucked into these woods, and about 25 feet behind the pin is a drop-off. So these ladies are probably just going to be throwing downhill as far as they can and hoping to have an approach into the green.
Like I was saying in the front 9 coverage, we didn't have a whole lot of wind today, so women are probably throwing just an overstable distance driver and hoping to bite off as much as possible. It looks like Katrina put it a little bit low. We'll see if Missy can get it a little bit higher. The mistake here is fading out left, which is exactly what Missy's doing. If you end up left, you have a clear shot into the basket, and that road, which is out of bounds on the left, does not really come into play all that much.
Oh no, this looks like trouble. It's over the cart path. Oh, wow.
She got very lucky. And we'll see if Haley King can put a move on this. It looks like she turns it over a little bit too. We'll see if it can
stable up a little bit.
Oh, wow, it did. So she's a little bit pinched off on the right there, but she's got a good forehand where she can just shoot right into the green area there. Hannah's got kind of a tricky shot. If you want to be a little bit more aggressive, you could throw down the right side where the cart path is, but she lets it hang out a little bit more left and is really just going to play for her 4 at this point.
I think this is a smart play by Katrina here. It's got to get over, though. Not quite enough.
Perfect attempt, but just a little bit short. With that cart path near the basket, it's pretty treacherous.
Missy was in the ideal location. That'll be close. That'll give her right at circle edge putt.
And Haley coming in. Whew! She puts it a little bit too hot down the hill, and it's hard to tell in the video, but on the green is quite a bit of elevation as well. So you're going to see a lot of women come up a little bit short or go a little bit long. And Hannah puts it next to the basket perfectly.
And Kat has no choice but to lay that up.
We'll see if Haley can convert for her comebacker. A little bit low. So this is for Missy's par. Oh, she puts that a little bit low as well.
Yeah, like I said at the beginning of the whole intro, this is playing more as a par 4 for the ladies.
But definitely a hole that we want to get a 3 on. Just have to be very confident in your tee shot. Great putt by Hannah. It's a long walk up that hill.
Especially with the heat of this day, for sure. And a handful of tap outs for bogeys, unfortunately, but On that hole, that is not a bad score, and you're not losing any strokes to the field. Here we're looking at hole 11, 311 feet. It's actually an island hole, and the green is extremely generous up close. It's about 260 to cross this front line, but if you want to attack this pin, it gets real narrow up here by the basket, and that is water on the left and probably about 18 to 20 feet away.
I would expect that most of the women are probably throwing a mid-range on this. Maybe some are putting, very great shot by Katrina. Maybe some are putting a fairway driver up to the right and letting it fade in. I unfortunately did not make the island all 3 rounds. I tried to air it out a little bit too far right and ended up hyzering too much. And we actually never found one of my discs over there in that bushy bush. It's pretty rough. That was also an amazing shot. This is looking...
also got to get down.
Oh, man. That's going to be
like
close, but looks
like it just slid OB.
Yeah.
She might have to go to the drop zone.
This is another one of those shots that you kind of just have to trust your disc. Oh, and Haley doesn't like that right out of her hand.
Immediately, yep. She'll be going to the drop zone as well. And it does look like Hannah was OB.
Even this drop zone shot was pretty challenging. Oh man, I think she might be out of bounds on that shot as well.
Either way, it's your turn.
She kind of shrugs it off. Haley going the forehand. Perfect. How far would you say that drop zone is from the basket?
Probably 120 feet.
Great putt for Missy's deuce. All smiles.
Oof. Oh, it looks like... No, was she in? Yeah, it looks like she was in.
Oh, wow. Barely in.
Couldn't convert.
And let's hope that Haley can make her comebacker. And she does. Little disc flip. Get some style points there. And Katrina puts it in for her too as well. Definitely picking up some strokes on the field on this card. Or on that too.
Alrighty, moving on to hole 12. This is a par 4, 581 feet. Can't quite tell, but the entire right side is out of bounds with water. And the trick here off the tee is deciding how far you want to throw. You can actually get to that water if you can throw it about 350. So these women have to decide how close they want to get. From the water's edge over to this green, it's probably about 230 to get safe if you're right up against it, but this is a pretty elevated green as well, which makes it tricky.
And Katrina has all of that distance to get to the water if she wanted to.
Yep, looks like she's just taking an overstable disc and laying it up in the perfect spot.
Yep. And Missy's going to do the same thing. Hopefully that comes back a little bit out of the rough.
She'll have a tricky little bit of a run up there, but she's still safe. Oh no, that's got to hold on. Ooh. Thinking that's going to be OB.
And Haley plays that super safe, just kind of flexing looks like a really overstable driver out there. Putting it right in the middle.
Hannah actually didn't find the water. That's very fortunate.
But she had to lay up once again to the water's edge, unfortunately. She put herself out of position. And Missy getting aggressive on her second shot, going
Is it
for
enough?
it. Oh,
Ooh,
man.
Not quite.
Comes up just short.
She'll be heading over to the drop zone.
Katrina, on the other hand, is in perfect placement to go for this green and has all the distance to be able to do that. Wow.
Beautiful. That's one of the best shots I've seen on that hole.
That is how you get your birdie on this hole. Our dogs are having a little bit of a temper tantrum. And wow, that was an amazing approach shot as well. Let's see if Hannah can get over safely. And it looks like she does. Nice and safe. So Missy's going to take this from the drop zone, and this is not an easy shot by any means. You've got water
Gotta get down.
around 3 sides of the basket. Oh man. Hard to get aggressive on that shot from the drop zone. I would say that shot's about, 120, 140 feet?
Yeah, maybe. Somewhere in that range.
The good thing is that she's now has a putt that's taking the water out of play. She's not facing the water on her putt, but...
Rough hole for Missy.
Yeah. And we'll see if Hannah can get this in for par. Ooh, just left. I would love to see 2 birdies on this hole. There's one.
Beautiful. That's textbook how you play that hole.
I did see quite a few, ooh, a little bit left, but it makes it safely in the basket. I did see quite a few rollaways on this green. Some made it all the way to the water, unfortunately, but it is a pretty treacherous green for putting.
Couple of birdies, couple of others. All right, here we go. Hole 13, 677 foot par 4. This looks like a pretty straightforward hole. However, it's deceptively tricky. Right up here at this pinch point, it's the narrowest part of the green. You can see on the left, there's a cart path. It goes down the entire left side, but right here where you think you want to land, it gets in really tight. So the shot is to actually be farther right. And then if you can get over to the right, it leaves you a wide open approach into this green. It doesn't have a lot of danger. If you went 40-50 long, you could find the OB road behind it. Otherwise, this hole is all about the tee shot.
My goal with throwing this was, you might see this little hump over on the right-hand side covered with grass. Katrina kind of sailed over it.
That is big and perfect.
Yep. My goal was to throw as close to that hump as possible and straight, knowing that I wouldn't go near the OB on the left-hand side. And it looks like...
Another perfect shot. So if you saw, both of those shots look like they were going to go way right off the tee, but that fairway dips over, and that's exactly how you want to throw this hole.
Oh, that looks
That's
a little too left.
Straight down.
Hopefully that's short of the out of bounds. We will see. And Missy taking the approach of Katrina and Haley.
Yep.
Perfect shot.
Again, looks like it's going way right, but there's room over there, and that's exactly how you play it. Oh, it looks like she did end up inbounds.
A little bit of a low ceiling, but she'll have an open shot to the basket.
Yep. Don't quite think she can reach it, though.
Oh, no. This, at least for my card, a 3 was... I don't think there was a 3 on my card. I tried for it every round, but that second shot, you've got to put a move on it to get up there in the circle. And great safe shot there as well. Very close to the basket. She might have a birdie look. Oh, hopefully that comes back.
Oh, no.
Looked like she tried to get a little bit too aggressive, flexing one to the right. And Katrina just throws a straight up hyzer. Puts it 15 from the basket. Nice approach shot by Hannah.
Oh, that's fortunate. She was not super deep in there. That can be some treacherous rough on that side.
We had a couple of nearly lost discs over there. It was... Ooh! Wow.
Nice putt.
That was great. That was, I would say, most definitely circle 2.
Ooh. Sneaks it in.
Yep. Great par putt. And I wouldn't say you're losing many strokes to the field if you're taking a par on this hole.
Not at all. Spoiler alert, there were 3 birdies for the entire weekend in the FPO field on this hole. And you just saw 2 of them.
There you go. Great birdie by Katrina.
So par is not losing a stroke to the field at all. All right, here we go. Hole 14, 338-foot par 3. The cart path is not OB. The road on the right is. That should not come in play. This is a deceptively tricky mental tee shot. It looks like that water is super close, but it's actually more like 50 feet, and it's low ceiling. You just have to really trust your disc and go hard at this pin. There's no OB on the left. Just gotta make the shot.
Looks like Katrina made the mistake that myself and the other women on my card did, is just putting it a little bit too low. It's hard to commit to this, for sure. It's a test of your mental game. Oh, and Missy does the same thing, kind of rolls off to the left. If this can turn a little bit for her. Oh, that was actually a good tree. Oh, this looks perfect if it can flex back to the left. Wow. Fight through there.
One tree to beat, and that would have been circle 1 putt.
Yep, that was still a great shot, though. She definitely gave herself a chance with the height on that disc.
Woo!
That was beautiful.
What a shot.
This is a very difficult approach shot, in my opinion. She did it perfectly.
As
So
did
did she.
Haley.
Katrina trying to take the water out of play, and just flicking a shot down there perfectly. And Hannah had a pretty simple approach to the basket.
Looks like we have a bunch of tap-ins to get their par. Ladies stayed out of trouble on this hole, which is good.
How would you like to go swimming in that green water for your disc? And that was the last short hole for quite a while on this course.
Yep, this is a true test. These next finishing holes, 3 of them are monster par 5s,
Like on that
and
log.
lots of elevation change.
Why is it so green, man?
This is a beautiful scene. I get to see it a little bit longer.
All right, here we go. Hole 15. This is absolutely beautiful hole. Par 5, 1,007 feet. The cart path again is not out of bounds, only the road on the right. The ladies are going to look to get their drive somewhere inside of these little trees, and then the hole takes a turn back downhill, and a good shot is going to turn for them and hopefully just glide and run all the way down to this next set of little trees. And if you can get somewhere in here, it'll leave you a long approach up to this green. You can't tell how elevated that is, but it's probably a good 50-60 feet up to this pin.
So this hole looks quite a bit different from when you started designing this course. It was completely wide open with none of these little baby trees.
Yes, and the friends of the Parks Department, some arbor association, came out and literally planted over 200 trees.
Wow. It's going to look quite a bit different in a few years. But for now, the trees don't come into play too much unless you land right behind or right next to one.
So the trick to this tee shot is getting as far up the hill and as left as you can, because then that gives you more elevation on your next shot back down the hill.
And all of those are pretty decent shots.
Yep, Hannah might be a little bit blocked with those little trees. Oh, and Haley did not get that turned.
A little bit of a rough footing there on that
She
incline.
got it over though, which
Yeah.
allows for a good glide on this hole.
And that was actually a pretty
Okay.
good look by Hannah.
Yeah, very nice.
Put the hyzer into play.
I think she was looking for a little more turn on that.
But like you said, this does play pretty uphill for a little while and then back downhill again. So some of the footing is pretty unstable there. Wow, that was a
That's a great
shot.
shot. Missy should be looking to get past all these trees on the right.
ooh, very
Beautiful.
nice.
Hannah looking to follow suit.
Great shot as well.
Can Katrina reach this green? She's going for
Wow.
it.
That would be amazing. That is definitely the furthest third shot I have ever seen on this hole by a female. Get up there. She's got to look at it.
Yeah, that's just outside a circle.
And this was a tough approach shot for many of us. It's very far uphill. Tough footing. And you're kind of throwing like straight up in the air, basically.
Yep, you've really got to control the angle and flight when you're throwing this far uphill. Looks like Missy got it wide enough. That's the play. Perfect. That looks like a great approach to set her up for her par.
Ooh, Katrina got a long look at it. And Hannah's got a far putt for par. She will tap in her bogey. Did this play at or over par for these women?
It played as a 5.82 for the ladies.
Okay.
So over par.
Yes. Oh, man. Yeah, I would say from personal experience that a par kind of felt like a birdie on this hole. Everyone's looking like they've slowed down quite a bit. This was the beginning of the very long walks.
All right, here we go. Hole 16, 661 foot, par 4. This is extremely uphill. However, the shot is to go over to those 2 trees on the right-hand side, as that's going to make your footing a lot more level. If you stay over left, you're going to have a more uneven second shot. If they can get up to the top of the hill, it should leave them about a 320 foot second shot into this green. Doesn't have a lot of danger, but there is a little bit of a drop off behind it.
Let's see how far up Katrina can get up on this hill. Wow. This is one of those holes where you just want to throw as far as you can, as hard as you can on the first shot. And no matter what, you're probably going to have a uphill run up on your second shot. So, oh, she doesn't like it.
Need a little bit of height on it, but I could see she was trying to get that over to the right where you get the more level footing. This has got to get down. Anything that hyzers out left like that starts losing distance. I've actually, in practice from that tee, had one hyzer out, and it went all the way to the bottom of the hill.
Oh, wow. And just where you see where Hannah and Haley are throwing from, it's totally blind. And it's almost challenging not to just hit the side of the hill itself while you're throwing uphill. Each time that I made that second shot, I got to the top of the hill, and I was like, man, this is how far I threw. It's very difficult to throw this far uphill, especially if you're doing a standstill like Missy is.
Yeah, and it's really difficult to do a run-up in that area because it's so steep.
Katrina got to a place where she was flat enough that she could actually do a little bit of a one-step run-up. Wow, that is mashed. And Missy is able to see the basket at this point, so she's
Oh, what a play.
perfectly placing her third shot. Looks like Hannah's got the same idea.
And
This is a little bit shorter.
Yeah, that tends to be the mistake on this hole because of the drop off behind it. You get a little timid and don't quite get there. Kind of similar for Haley as well.
The fact that Katrina has a look at it for a 3 is absolutely amazing. I think even taking a 4 on this is picking up strokes on the field.
Nice.
Very
All right.
nice.
brief little history. As we play holes 16, 17, 18, you'll see a lot of residential houses along the right-hand side. This used to be a full traditional ball golf course, and a lot of these houses were purchased because they thought they were on a ball golf course, and it's actually been out of commission for around 8 years. And you'll see when we get over to hole 17, the residents absolutely love having disc golf out here because we mow and maintain, and they like seeing stuff on their course. All right, here we go. Hole 17. This is definitely the signature hole on the course. For the women, this actually played as the #1 most difficult hole. It plays almost as a left turning U with OB water down the entire left side, and you see that cart path on the right. The shot is to get somewhere right in here. That big tree on the right is where you want to aim and have it just go left, just in front of it. You can see all that OB down the left side. If you have a great tee shot, you're looking to get your second shot somewhere right in here. That will leave you a shorter approach into this green, where that cart path once again comes back into play.
This tee shot is very intimidating. There's a pond right there.
Wow. That is textbook perfect.
She was not intimidated at all. But the mistake that I'm seeing, that I saw a lot, was throwing something too overstable, landing in the pond. The way that you can combat that is exactly what Missy did, just throwing kind of a shorter chip shot forehand.
Wow, that is an overstable disc right there. Oh no, thought that was going to come back a little bit more.
And it looks like Hannah puts a little too much turn on this, but the trees catch her and keep her safe.
Yeah, that'll actually not be too bad.
This is still a pretty intimidating shot because you've got the pond over there to the left.
If that can get past all of those little low-lying branches and trees, that'll be fantastic. And
Wow.
It does.
That was great. I think I have 4 discs in that pond. I'll never see any of them again. And that looks like a great safe shot from Hannah.
Perfect. Yep, Haley unfortunately is just going to have to pitch this back out to the middle.
Yeah, she gets quite a bit of distance on that.
Yeah, still not too bad.
No. And again, this is tricky footing. All uphill from here. That's a good shot by Missy.
Wow, I'm still impressed with that drive.
Yeah.
I've thrown this hole a whole bunch, and I'll take that drive every single time.
Yep, you'll see the other 3 women in this card are not rounding the corner to the left until their 3rd shot, and Katrina was rounding it on her 2nd shot. So I would say the play for this, because the OB follows the rough on the left, and the cart path is pretty far away on the right-hand side, many of us were just throwing as far right as possible, trying not to put that OB into play. And right here, we start seeing some random rain come down.
And that clapping that you hear and those tents and banners you see off in the distance, that's what I was talking about with the residents. Those are just homeowners that have come out to watch and support disc golf.
They had free Gatorade, water. They clapped for all of our shots, good and bad. 2-foot putts. It was great. Wow.
Wow.
Woo! That was incredible.
That's the shot of the day right there.
That's a great shot as well from Haley. See if Missy can sink another big one.
Ooh.
Oh, good bid.
At this point, though, that little bit of rain was very welcome. It was a hot, blistering day.
Yes. But with rain in Nashville comes humidity. Unfortunately, Haley puts that a little bit low. It was a very enthusiastic group of spectators for sure. It was pretty cool.
Haley frustrated. You saw her shaking her head there.
Thank you.
And I would say the back nine is where Katrina picked up a lot of her strokes, just talking to her after this round. The back nine is where many of the women were taking a lot of big numbers, and she was just taking birdies and pars.
Here we go, our finishing hole, hole 18. OB cart path down the entire right side. The left side just has some nasty, nasty rough. You really want to stay in the short grass here. If you can throw a couple of great shots and land somewhere in here, it's going to set you up for this uphill third shot into the basket. And again, back up on a little bit of a mound. Cart path should not be in play.
That looks perfectly center cut.
Beautiful.
Ooh, Missy turns it over a little bit. Getting that cart path into play, but she's safe.
At 886 feet par 5, this is for sure the most attackable par 5 on the course for a birdie.
And Haley put it a little bit too right, I would say, as well. Interesting, they're all kind of going right, which if you land over there, it's forcing you to throw an anhyzer or a big flick around that tree on the right. And Missy actually lands so right that she's able to hyzer around that big tree. So that was actually a pretty good landing zone. Hannah, on the other hand, is going to have to throw this big anhyzer.
She needs to make sure it stays over, because if it doesn't,
yes, that rough is rough.
Rough comes into play. Ooh,
Oh,
she just
very
made
nice.
it over. That's good.
Oh, not able to fight through.
Get down. Let's see if Katrina can put a move on this. She put a move on it, but just didn't keep it over. Ooh, she's still out of the rough. That should set her up for a easy birdie approach.
And Haley throws something, looks like it's pretty overstable, just flexing it out there, trying to get as much distance to climb the hill. And that's a very, very uphill putt from there. By this point, it looks like the sun shower has stopped.
And here comes the humidity.
Yes. Luckily, the round is over. And Katrina, wow. That's good, but she's still probably, 20 feet out? Maybe a little bit closer.
Either way, she's got a birdie look for sure.
Yes. And you can see just how uphill this basket is from this shot.
Yeah, you were right. She did come up a little bit short. Let's see if she can convert this. Yeah.
Whew.
Beautiful way to finish.
Yes.
The crowd likes it. Yeah, there you go, Hannah. Good job.
And Haley taps in. And Missy's got a nice little drop in. Thank you for joining us for the round 2 back 9 coverage of the Music City Open presented by Dynamic Discs. We want to thank Howard Disc Golf for providing us with this awesome coverage. This was Sarah and Sean Sinclair, and we hope you tune in for round 3.